This is Lieutenant Colonel John Blitch. Not only is he a cognitive psychologist, but he is a former and retired Green Beret, Delta Force operator and sniper, and a nuclear materials commander. This guy is as legit as they come. I really like this guy. He is part of the UFO whistleblower and disclosure movement surrounding Jake Barber, who is associated with the helicopter retrieval of the egg-shaped UAP or UFO and that footage that came out. The full interview is on News Nation with Ross Coulthart. It's super fascinating. I think this guy is legit. His stories are really fascinating, and he goes into a lot of personal detail. He talks about 3 different instances where he believes he was actually abducted himself by non-human intelligence. And he says not only does he believe that non-human intelligence is real, he knows that it's real. And he was very adamant in saying that he doesn't just believe it, he knows it. Now, John Blitch was born in Idaho Falls, right near the country's very first nuclear research facility, and I was born in Rexburg, not far away in Rexburg, Idaho. We were both born right near the country's first nuclear research facility. Now, they've done tons of nuclear research and prototyping out here. In fact, the very first community in America that was powered by nuclear power was here in Idaho at the INL, the Idaho National Laboratory. And John Blitch, in his interview, he says that he believes that the UFOs and the non-human intelligence are attracted to these types of facilities, and that could account for some of his childhood abduction experiences. Now, I've also had strange abduction experiences very similar to John Blitch, where he felt like he was taken, and then there was even instances where he talks about where he woke up in the morning and even had bruises in the shape of handprints on his arms. And I even had that, where I had to go to school and wear my coat and hide a weird bruised handprint across my arm that had 4 fingers instead of 5, and I couldn't explain it. Some of my friends even noticed the weird handprint on my arm after the strange dream that I had. And when John Blitch talked about this story in his interview, I was like, no way, that happened to me too. But the Idaho National Laboratory is in the same path that goes through Utah and into Nevada, where Dugway Airfield is here out in the desert, where there's rumored to be buried UFOs out here in the desert, and on the path to Area 51. There's more UFO sightings on this path between Idaho and Nevada than almost anywhere else in the country. If you go watch this full interview, not only does he talk about these abduction experiences, but he even describes some of the entities that took him. And believe it or not, he describes some of them as being like praying mantis or insectoid type entities. Now, he again says that he doesn't just believe this, but he knows it. See, in this part of the interview, he's talking about the handprint that he found when he woke up the next morning and all kinds of strange stuff. So if you haven't watched this interview, it's with John Blitch, the Green Beret officer. Go check it out on News Nation.